Ian Duncansmith, he's the MP who's in charge of the Department of Work and Pensions, and this morning he's announced that he's going to abolish the government target of eliminating child poverty by 2020. And why has he done this? Because next week there's going to be an emergency budget, and everybody's expecting in that budget that the government will announce details of its absolutely astonishingly massive £12 billion cuts in the welfare benefits programme. People are expecting that these cuts are going to fall on working tax credit, child tax credit and housing benefits, and these are precisely the benefits that many low-paid, low-income people depend upon to get by. They're absolutely essential benefits, but everyone is expecting that there's going to be a huge hammering of these benefits. So it's not really any wonder that Duncansmith made his announcement about child poverty targets today, because in a week's time there's going to be thousands more children and their families and people without children thrown into even deeper poverty when these cuts in benefits come about. And it was only a week ago that Duncansmith's department produced figures on households living on below average income, and it's quite astonishing that there are 10.6 million people, that's 23% of the population, who are living on income that's less than £272 a week. It's incredible, and out of this £272 a week, you've got to find your housing bills, your food, your gas, your electric, your water, travel, clothing. I mean, that really is a significant number of people in this country living in what really can only be described as poverty. And here in Thanet, we've got one of the highest rates of poverty in England. The child poverty rate is estimated at 20%. That's 1 in 5 children in Thanet are living in what's been declared officially as poverty. And that goes as high as 50% in Cliftonville West, 47% in Margate Central, and 44% in Newington wards. And Thanet already has as well the highest rates of low pay in South East England, and the highest rates of unemployment in South East England. And then you've got astonishing statistics for claimants for tax credits. 16,500 people in Thanet are claiming working tax credit or child tax credit, and 15,000 people are claiming housing benefits. So it just shows you the astonishing level of poverty in Thanet, which require people to claim benefits in order just to keep their head above water. And to cut these benefits, which the government are proposing to do next week, is going to make life for people who are already struggling really hard to get by, it's going to make life even more difficult. And it's also going to drag thousands of people in Thanet and millions of people across the country who are not already in poverty into poverty. It's absolutely astonishing what the government are proposing to do. And are the landlords of struggling tenants likely to cut the rent to allow them a bit more breathing space? Are the bosses of low-paid workers likely to give people a pay rise because their tax credit has been reduced? Not fucking likely they are. And at the same time, we've got a government who's making these absolutely draconian cuts, and yet they're quite happy to spend £120 billion renewing the Trident missile programme and £72 billion on the High Speed 2 up to Birmingham and up north, when the government secret report that was announced last week said there's serious doubts it could cost even more than that. And this is a government who's also said it's going to sell back the shares that we bought to prop up RBS back to the fucking bankers at knockdown rates who fucked up the bank in the first place. You can't make this stuff up. In my book, there's no justification for forcing poor people to pay for the crisis that's been caused by rich speculators. And that's what this austerity programme is all about. The poor paying for the greed and avarice and dodgy deals of the rich. So I'm all in favour of fighting back. And I think the best way to start is by telling Ian Duncan Smith to fuck right off. Fuck off, Duncan Smith. Fuck off.